Welcome back to Long Island Main Street News, where we celebrate local business, community, and government leaders. We are here in Tied In Media Studios, so we have to thank the Pink Tie Foundation and First Equity Title for hosting us. We got to thank Rob Conforto, our videographer, who's been with us for 600 plus episodes. So thank you, Rob. And thank you for listening. Again, we are on Vision Long Island's Facebook page each weeknight at 8 p.m. for a new and original interview. So here we are. We have a dear friend of ours for many years, Juan Vides, who's the CEO of TECHACS and also the founder of Winning on Wednesday Business Group and the host of the Winning on Wednesday podcast. Hey Juan, how are you, man? I'm going to do a handshake.
See? Yeah, definitely.
We're doing fist bump forever. Now we're back to handshakes.
Exactly.
We're post-coronavirus. We're back to business. You have been busy, my friend.
Yes.
You got a lot going on.
Yes. Well,
tell me.
Absolutely.
Well, tell me about each of your things. I mean, you're the CEO of TECHACS. I've known you in that capacity for a lot of years. You know, so tell us about that. That's
sure.
First,
thank
bread
you
and butter.
Thank you again for having me on this.
Yeah.
This is a great show. You have a great show, and thank you. What you're doing is phenomenal for the community. Is awesome. So thank you for that. First of all, So I've had my digital marketing firm now for 25 years, and the 25 years was a long time in the digital world. You know, doing. I first started doing a website. My first website I did was like $300. I put an ad on Craigslist.
Right.
You remember Craigslist, right? Back in the days.
Craigslist.
Yeah.
I think it's still there in some way.
It is, but unfortunately they're charging now. Now you have to. It's $5 a post, believe it or not. So. Craigslist is not what it used to be, so that's why it's gone away. But now I've seen it's social media. Everybody's moved to social media, everybody's promoting and selling on social media. But I've been doing search engine optimization, getting people on the first page of Google, and it's interesting how my business has evolved, and it's always pivoted. Because in the technology world, you have to pivot because if I did websites all day long, I couldn't afford to. But by offering other services in my industry has able to be more relative and competitive as well, because everybody wants to be on the first page of Google, everybody needs social media, everybody needs email marketing. Marketing is not what it used to be back in 20, 30 years ago, or even 40, 50 years ago. All you put an ad on Yellow Pages, but now it's very complex. It's not just one thing. And
that's right. It's not one thing.
It's not one thing. So that's the common mistake that a lot of small business owners make, is that they just do one thing. They just do Facebook and that's it. They expect I'm going to put an ad, create a Facebook page, and that's it. And then I'm done. Or create a website and I'm done. No, you have to do a lot more and get your message out there.
That's right. No, I totally understand that. And you've been great at the digital marketing.
Yep.
And so I guess between all your clients and the dynamic of coronavirus, you put together this Winning on Wednesday group.
That's right.
And that became a Zoom sensation on a local level at the very least, if not beyond.
Yep. What happened was that, a lot of these, and I'm not trying to knock any organizations or nothing like that, but there's a lot of these network organization groups that, unfortunately, they've been there for years. And what happened in COVID was, they didn't adapt to the technology, I just started doing Zoom, and immediately I sprang into action and started helping small businesses. I didn't charge or nothing like that. I just wanted to get everybody, because we were on a standstill in COVID. Nobody was doing anything.
Yeah.
So I'm the type of person, I'm like, let's just not sit there, let's do something.
That's right.
And that's where I just jumped into action and started Winning on Wednesday, and it just grew from there. And it's been 4 years now.
So now what you do this literally on Wednesday,
every week,
11 o'clock,
week,
right? Mm-hmm. And it's a group of folks that assemble. It's a kind of a coalition of the willing, more or less, right? That they come together and they do business with each other. I hear a buzz on it, even before we've been talking again. I was like, Juan's thing is going on. I was like, I got to go check them out.
So what I make it interesting, is really cool, is that we, when you come into our networking group, it's not stagnant. Sometimes it's very boring, very dry.
Same people with the same stories.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So what we change it up every week. We have a question of the week, which is geared to business. Like, what's your favorite app? What app are you using? Or we use different questions to gear for business, so that gets the dialogue started. And then we go into the breakout rooms. And we do about 4 or 5 different breakout rooms. So in an hour, you could get to meet about 12 people in an hour.
Right.
In 1 hour, and the hour flies. It goes back very quick. Right. And it's pretty cool that Winning on Wednesday, to me, I feel almost like therapy, because you have somebody every week that you meet on a weekly, consistent basis. It's almost like Cheers, places where you go, somebody knows your name. Exactly. You go there every week and you feel the camaraderie with people, and that starts the dialogue with business, because I always say people do business who they know, like, and trust.
I love that tagline, and I think it is a foundational piece, because we talk on this, and Rob's behind the camera. He's heard me, right, say this, and he's gonna nod. I've done 600 interviews, and I got in 500 of them, we could bring up trust.
Right.
As like a theme.
Oh, absolutely.
That is like one of the biggest challenges that we face doing anything, making any change, any decision. And certainly if you're gonna risk your time and your money with somebody,
absolutely,
it's trust.
100%.
And it's, I say this all the time too, these phones and all our devices each day give us 30 plus reasons why we shouldn't trust each other. We're bombarded with messaging that divides us. So the currency of trust is so powerful right now. So if you can tap into that or create an environment for that, bless you.
Yes.
Because that's so needed. Anyway, that's my editorial comment. But I'm glad you got that going on.
Yeah, thank you. But real quick, I was gonna say about the trust, just to add up on that, especially now with a lot of scams and frauds going on.
Yeah.
To talk about the trust, you have to properly vet people or organizations or businesses like that if you want to do business. Because you could get a phone call, and now with AI, people can spoof your voice, could spoof your emails, could spoof anything. Be you now. They could make a video of you.
That's right.
So you always got to be trust and verify. You always got to verify.
That was Ronald Reagan's old.
Yes.
Trust but verify.
Trust but verify.
So what are the needs out there? So you run this group. You have so before we even get to that, you have a weekly podcast now.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
So I've been on it. Thank you for having me on.
Yep.
And you ask great questions. Questions I haven't answered in my life. Like some of them, like wow, I've never really answered that one. But it certainly brings out the best in the guest. So tell us about these podcasts. You've interviewed a lot of people.
Yeah, and you bring up an interesting point because I interviewed John Hill. John Hill, and
sure.
John Hill even said to me, he said, "Wow, you talk about stuff you brought up stuff that I haven't spoken about 50 years." And it's truly amazing because sometimes we forget and we often, but sometimes I always say people do business with their know, like, and trust. To go back to that, I think, but it's commonalities and if there's any sort of interest or anything that we could bond with, and that's the beauty about these interviews because I make it personal, make it about you. It's not making it about your company. Yes, it's about, at the end, I give about 5 minutes to sell your company, your services, but the thing is it'd be about you, your travel, your history. People want to know the stories. People love hearing stories.
They do.
And stories sell. So I think that's another point that I kind of use my podcast show as a selling point for your stories, but it's really your journey because it's interesting. Everybody has a journey where they gotten from, where they started and where they gotten from right now, so it's really interesting about that.
And I'm going to ask you about your journey in a minute, but before we get to you, I want to get a sense now that you're tapping into a lot of people out there. What are you hearing from folks? What are the top issues, needs, concerns, maybe fears? Because you're tapping into a lot of folks. So
sure.
What are you hearing? What's coming into you?
Right now with the climate, with the economy, everything's slow. As you know, the sales cycles are slow.
Yeah.
It's not as fast as it used to be. People are holding tight to their money. They're not letting it go, obviously. Yeah. And me too. I'm suffering through that too myself. I mean, I have a few proposals, and I'm actually doing stuff that I haven't done in 25 years, trying to go back to reinvent myself in a way. I'm like
back to basics.
Back to basics,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Sometimes you have to go back to basics. And also, pivoting as well, doing other services and offering other things to make ends meet at the end.
Yep. No, it's a common theme. Economically, people are challenged out there between inflation, which has been crazy, cost additional for folks, and it's true. The slow, the interest rates have really impacted the whole real estate market. They've turned that upside down. So I think that there's a multiplier effect of negativity that's come with that.
Oh yeah.
It's been a really disaster, the inflation. All right. So what's next? For the next few months, so that you'll be working on. What's kind of your next going into 2024? I can't believe we're wrapping up 2023. But what are you? What's the next steps or journey for you in this conglomeration of your consulting work, a digital marketing company, and your business group and your podcasts and whatever else you're going to take on? Yeah,
we would definitely want to expand and grow. It's always that's the key, expanding and growing. And what's key here, what I've learned is collaboration. Okay. Collaboration is key. And what we have also with Winning on Wednesday, we have collaborations with the Chambers of Commerces. We're working with the Long Island African American Chamber of Commerce. We're also working with the Freeporters Chamber of Commerce as well. And we're currently in talks with other chambers of commerce as well. So what I do is I allow the chambers of commerces, because I feel that these chambers of commerces sometimes need a little boost, and we are that little boost because we have that weekly commitment, a platform that they are a place to meet, just a place to network, So any members, the Chamber of Commerce of members want to network, just to network, come to my organization. And we have a collaboration with the Chambers of Commerces where we allow their members for 3 months to come out, try our service. And if they like it, they can join. If they're not, no pressure, pressure. But I'm doing more because I want to help out small businesses that particularly in this need, to support them and help them along the way, to find more business.
That's right. So now you have that going on now. One thing we talked about too is we talk about off camera, the power of certain emerging markets economically. And I think the Latino community I've seen just on main streets, and I've talked about this on this show, an explosive amount of growth of diverse businesses. Again, Asian, South Asian, Hispanic, all the different, when you say Hispanic businesses, that's like 30 different countries, right? So, it's like, and there's so much. So there's an economic market in that is overwhelming.
Absolutely. In fact, yesterday I got invited to an event last night, the Economic Growth with Bank of America at their location in the One Bryant Park. I was there. I did a phenomenal job giving information, statistics. It's amazing that they know that investing in the Hispanic market. By the way, they say that investing in the Latino market 3 times the amount that they get as far as an owner. So if you invest in a market, that's proven, by the numbers. And also, it's really interesting that the buying power of the Hispanic group is interesting because it's almost the size of the 9th of the world market around the country. Let's say if the Latino community was a country, it would be the 9th in the country. That's the buying power.
Wow. Yeah, I mean it's powerful. I see so much. It's not just food establishments, right? It's all kinds of services and you name it. And it's really like in many downtowns, it's as much as 1/3 or 40% of some of the downtown businesses.
I'll give you a point. So even local services, landscaping, and all, it's changed also. It's really the wave of immigration. It's like history repeating itself, very cyclical. And you had your immigrants from Irish, Jewish, Italian, but it's all, they get established and then it's all cyclical. And it's the same thing. Now you have first generation. I'm first generation. I came here from El Salvador.
Sure.
And so we're, as immigrants, we have something to prove. It's just like we're hard workers, and when I want to, my thing is the best way to show people is your success, right? To show them your success and show them that because people talk negatively, especially I'm Salvadorian. People saying, "Oh, MS-13" and all that stuff. But the thing is, I'm a successful, entrepreneur to show people that this is what I've done.
Some of the hardest working people I know, number one, are immigrants, small businesses in particular, because they're working incredibly hard. The part I love is when there's immigration and there's an openness to sharing culture. I find the food, again, I'm a food guy. I eat a little too much, right, everywhere I go. I think you go into Dominican restaurant, Colombian restaurant, Salvadorian restaurant. We have my Peruvian friends. I have a guy on staff who runs the Peruvian Chamber of Commerce, Silva, and so he's rail thin, but he's constantly eating, and wherever we go, But there's Peruvian restaurants too. It's like it's not just immigrant folks that are eating in these restaurants. This is folks who've lived on Long Island a long time, white folks, whatever, but all different cultures, and there's an openness. There's a universal acceptance of different cuisines and different 100%. Cultures and art and music, and it's all just kind of, when you see street fairs, there's a combination of cultures in a lot of these places, and it's neat. It's a great transformation, I find.
And it's kind of like, same with music, you find it, and it's a lot of fusion that's going on too, a lot of mixing, you know what I mean? And it's nice to see a Cuban Chinese restaurant, that they have that in the city, believe it or not. It does exist. That does exist. And that's very well. But these are strange combinations, but you never think about it, but it's just like, wow,
Yeah, no, I see that. I see that in a lot of places. I think there was one here in Hicksville was Yeah, it was like an Indian Chinese too.
Yeah,
I got some of those, and the Taste Asian fusions. We're pulling stuff together.
All that.
There's a lot.
Yeah,
you know?
and the beauty of mixing. That's the beauty of diversity we're talking about, mixing and all that.
No, it's great. It's great you got that going on. I guess, so this maybe brings you to me asking you about you, what brought you into, obviously a digital marketing company is a very clear job and task and set of tasks. What took you to, this other level of really reaching out beyond being behind a screen, essentially?
Well, the altruism, as I can say. I think it's just because of gratitude, being grateful, number one, being in this country, because, and number one, I tell people I was not supposed to live, in El Salvador, where I was traumatized in the war, seeing a lot of things that, a child should never see. So I can relate to what's going on right now with Ukraine and Israel, with the kids, because I experienced that myself as a child.
Okay.
But coming to this country and given the opportunities and being so appreciative with people like yourself, all the people that have given me great opportunities to be and helped out, I'm always grateful for that and always thankful for that. And I think that's the one of the things that made me successful, is just being the gratitude and being always thoughtful and thankful, and I think with that, it's giving back too, and that's why I like to help out a lot of people. It's just giving it back because it's not to be selfish, and it's always giving give as gains, as they say. You give more and you get back, and I love helping people out.
Yeah. No, you do, and there's a charitable component to Winning on Wednesdays, right? I see a lot of local organizations that leukemia saw that on the website. And,
we do a lot of stuff for that, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of organizations, again, that've been there for many, many years. Yeah. But they're very stagnant. They don't really do other things only within themselves. I'm always about giving and helping others. Ray Schweppes from Jovia Financial Credit Union.
Oh, he's great.
Ray, he was a cancer survivor.
He's been on the show.
Yeah, he's been a cancer survivor. Yeah. And and I said, I expect to action. I said, we got to bring awareness, and particularly about this. And we last Saturday we had a Light the Night, which was really wonderful, an event about all the cancer survivors, and we were there supporting Ray, lighting up the candle. So it was really nice. Very nice to support him.
That's nice. So tell me a little bit about your journey. You dipped your toe into the water of politics.
That's correct.
A little more than your toe. You dove into that pool. Tell us about that.
Okay. So I said to myself, if I'm going to go run to office, I said I'm not going to go for a school board. And a lot of people say, go to school board, go to legislature, start local level.
Right.
But I felt that I just wanted to make an impact and go reach for the stars, as they say.
Go for the gusto.
Go for the gusto. Yeah. But it was a definitely learning experience, and
you ran for the state.
I ran for New York State Assembly. Yeah, that's correct. I ran in a district in the 20th district, which is Long Beach, Oceanside, Island Park, and the 5 towns. Hewlett, Lawrence, Inwood, there. Right. And my district is 10% Latino, 20% African American. The rest was Italian, Irish, and my district is 40% Jewish. And as they say, I had a lot of chutzpah to run for public office. Right. And, they said I was a mensch, not a schnorrer. And I know Haknik Shainik. So, like I said, my Yiddish is a little bit okay, So I'm still learning. Yeah. But you know what? That's the beauty about diversity and inclusion, is that when I grew up in Long Beach, right? I grew up in the West End of Long Beach. Sure. So all my friends, for the most part, were Irish and Italian. Right. Maybe that's the reason why my wife is, I have Irish and Italian. And I mix it. It's the beauty about mix. That's right. But it was nice because I was welcome. I was never discriminating or anything like that. I was welcome in everybody, and it was just great and wonderful. Even when I ran for office, I would say 90% of the people, because I knocked over 7,000 doors, by the way. Amazing. 7,000 doors, because I wanted to do the work. Yeah. I wanted to, and I would say about 90% of the people were very nice. You had your occasional slamming in the door, get away from me, but
you ran as a Democrat.
I did, and
I'm
no longer Democrat. Right. And I gotta, the only thing I gotta say is just it's a little bit this hardening.
But you did well.
I did well.
You got
21,000 people that voted for me. 46% of the vote.
46% of the vote. Yeah. Now the funny part is that in successive races, that district has only gotten I mean, it's been overwhelming Republican wins.
Yes. Yep.
So like overwhelming. Not the guys who ran after didn't get 46. They got Bailey got 40. I mean,
my message was simple. I would say, listen, I was even though I was born in El Salvador, I was made in America, and really I was made in the 20th district. I was made in the South Shore of Long Island. I mean, I eat bagels and lox. I mean, come on, I'm a Salvadorian, and I should be eating pupusas and stuff like that, but I'm eating bagels and lox and all that stuff. So this is what I grew up with. This is my friends,
Yeah, that's right.
And do we call it what do we call it, gravy, or do we call it pasta? I grew up with all this different cultures. We're talking about food and culture, so that's the beauty about that.
No, I think and that's great, and I think that you've always been community based, and I think so clearly you have a lot of roots there, and that's powerful. And I think Long Island is a community of communities where we're a bottom up place. We're not really a region. People don't trust big things; they trust local people. So the fact that you did well in a tough district, as far as bless you. But hey, you're clearly past politics and onto doing business.
I moved on. Yeah.
Any other hobbies? Anything you care to share? I know you got a family. I know you got
two kids. My kid, my son is 14, plays lacrosse, and then my daughter Sophia, she loves ice skating and sings. Taylor, she's a Swiftie.
Okay, she's a Swiftie.
She's a Swiftie. Yeah, folks. I'm sorry. I was never a Taylor Swift, but now I know everything that I needed to know about Taylor Swift. So I know too much about Taylor Swift. Too much that I needed to know.
Yeah, we all know too much. So rumor has it that you play video games sometimes.
That is correct.
Okay.
I play video games, and I've been a gamer all my life. I mean, my first system was an Atari, Atari system. I love the graphics, and really that's how I've kind of fell into computers, because I always wanted the graphics, and with the graphics you had to have a faster processor, a faster computer processing. Right. And my first computer, I won't forget, it was like $3,000 back in '95.
Wow.
Yeah, I spent $3,000 on a computer
better
back
than
in
the compact Presario.
And it had a 2 gigabytes hard drive. It was a 2 gigabyte. Yeah. So, but to tell you, but again, I saw it as an investment because look, here I am now.
Yeah, sure. That was real smart.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money back then.
It was a lot of money.
So I hear you rock out to some of my favorite music on when you're working out.
That's right, and playing video games
Black
too.
Sabbath, I hear once in a while.
Yes. I love Iron Man and War Pig.
Yeah.
And also AC/DC is my Led Zeppelin. So classic rock, I like that.
Okay.
But I also I'm very eclectic. I like also the dance, everything, anything, even hip hop. I like hip hop. I listen to everybody.
Yeah, sure.
Anything that has a good. Usually, my thing, if it has a good melody, I think that's good for me. Good enough for me.
Nice. All right, so this is great, man. So how do people find you?
Sure. Simply, you could go to my website. Well, I'm going to give 2 websites because one of them is my consultant website, which is techacs.com. And you can reach me at 212-202-1952. I still have a New York number, 212-202-1952. And I did that on marketing, for marketing purposes, by the way.
Okay,
I do have a 516 number too, but I'd rather give out the 212. It makes me a little
more international.
A little bit more posh, as they say.
That's good.
A little bit more posh. Not dodgy, but posh. Anyway, yeah. So we could do that, and my email is my personal email is jcvides@gmail.com. It's that you can reach me that, or info@techacs. And the other one is by anybody that wants to come, any small business owners that want to come. It's Winning on Wednesday, and you can reach me at that. It's info@winningonwednesday.com.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah, I think that's great, and really, again, you're open to different businesses coming on board. Obviously, you want to get people to invest a bit, but you winningonwednesday.com. That's something, and obviously there's a lot of the older podcasts are available on YouTube.
That's
so
right.
You can check out the past interviews. I was on there, which is kind of nice. But there's a lot of other folks you've had on there that are really interesting. So close us out with whatever thoughts you'd have or advice you'd give to small businesses right now. Or anything else you wanted to cover that you didn't get to, my friend. Close us out.
Right now, I would say, I know it's tough right now for a lot of businesses because of the economy. Just keep on, be consistent. Consistency, as I always say, consistency is key. And keep going at it because that's what marketing is. Don't give up. and just be at it. And sooner or later, something will hit. I mean, you think about it, you could strike out 1,000 times, right? You're gonna hit a grand slam one of these days. So keep on doing, don't lose hope. And I think that's the best thing we could do. And also make a lot of friends, make new friends. Even if you're standing online, always network people, because that's another thing people don't do or take up the opportunities to network. It's to get to know other people, because you never know, who they can introduce you, who they could be new clients. Maybe they're not going to be an immediate client, but they know people, they have friends, family. Always expand that network. Always think of that person opening the door of opportunity. So that stranger can actually open the doors of opportunity. So always make new friends and be open to networking. And I know that's the best advice I could give right now.
I love it. Hey, man.
All right.
Juan, thank you for
Thank
taking
you so
the
much.
time
Thank you.
today.
Thank you.
This is great.
Awesome.
This is great. Again, Juan Vides, again, the CEO of TECHACS. You can check him out there at techacs.com, right? And he's also, again, the founder of the Winning on Wednesday business group, winningonwednesday.com, and he's the host of that podcast, and you can check out all their interviews on YouTube. Really great stuff, great buzz with the networking. People are really helping each other. I love the theme of building trust, which is so important out there right now. And again, that's a theme that we have in the work that we do as well. So support it 1,000%. So check Juan out and support the groups that he's part of. And also, we always tell people, continue to shop locally in your small business. Small business season is among us, so it's real important to get your dollars to local businesses, get your dollars to local food pantries that are in need too, or get some food over there one way or another. And keep listening local each weeknight. Vision Long Island's Facebook page at 8 p.m. New and original interviews with real Long Islanders doing good things. We'll catch you in the next edition.